Okay, guys, I think that the Obi-Wan Kenobi rumor that's been going around, I really do believe that this is a real thing and it's going to happen. I do think that Ewan McGregor is in negotiations right now as we speak about coming back to portray Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi on Disney Plus. Now, the advantage of Disney Plus over the big screen is they can dive deeper into who Obi-Wan Kenobi is, because this TV show will most likely be 8 to 10 episodes and around an hour apiece. So you're essentially getting pretty much 4 movies in one season. So that's the advantage. Even though I said it before, Star Wars should be on the big screen for characters like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but we could get more in depth. My concern level is Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy is still in charge. But however, it's going to happen. And if it's going to happen, I really want it to be very good. I don't want Ewan McGregor to come back into a mess, a dumpster fire. I don't want that to happen. Ewan McGregor is such a great actor. He needs to be respected as Obi-Wan Kenobi. What they did to Mark Hamill cannot happen to Ewan McGregor. It can't happen. So with that, this is what they need to do to make this TV show good. First off, Dave Filoni, he needs to be the showrunner of this show. Kathleen Kennedy needs to have no involvement whatsoever. You want to know why Rebels was pretty good? It's because Kathleen Kennedy wasn't involved. Kathleen Kennedy is pretty much only involved in the movies. That's it. Dave Filoni, he runs the animated stuff. And Dave Filoni is working with Jon Favreau now on The Mandalorian. And I think that's going to be a very, very good show. The person who is going to be the showrunner on this show is the most important person to making this good. But Kathleen Kennedy cannot be involved in this whatsoever. So with that said, if Dave Filoni is running this show, it can be very good, if not great. Now, I'm more of a Jedi person, so I'm really hoping that this TV show is even better than The Mandalorian, which I think is going to be very good if Kathleen Kennedy is not involved. And I don't think that she is, because I do believe she said that this is Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, they're doing this. I'm not involved. Good. Very good. So I was thinking that this TV show should take place around 6 months to 1 year after the events of Revenge of the Sith. And I'm using that time period because there's a lot of stuff in A New Hope that has not been answered about the Obi-Wan Darth Vader relationship. If you go back to A New Hope, Vader and Obi-Wan, they face off. And Vader says, "The last time we met, I was but the learner, but now I am the master." Also, in Return of the Jedi, Vader tells Luke, "Obi-Wan once thought as you did," when Luke told him, "Come with me, leave, turn to the light." These are things that we haven't really seen. We haven't seen Obi-Wan tell Anakin / Vader, come back. We haven't seen that. We haven't seen those two things. And I think those two things can be addressed in a TV show. But the reason why I'm saying that it needs to take place about 6 months to a year after Sith is because I think that's when Vader is at his physical weakness. getting used to his suit and everything like that. You know, if you had your limbs chopped off, it's going to take you a while to really get used to him and be able to walk and everything like that. So we do know that the suit has greatly diminished Vader/Anakin's powers. It just have. So let's say that Vader and Obi-Wan, they meet in a time period not long after Sith. Obi-Wan is still Obi-Wan. He's still powerful. But Vader is greatly diminished. And they face off. And Obi-Wan defeats Vader. And one other thing, you have to remember that Obi-Wan, at the end of Sith, he doesn't even know that Anakin survived. He doesn't know that he's in this dark suit. So they would need to set up something to where Obi-Wan finds out that Anakin survived and is in the suit. Now, I would rather it not be that he finds out through the Force, because if he's on Tatooine and he senses Vader, it would make sense that Vader would be able to sense him on Tatooine. It would make sense. And as far as we know from the movie, A New Hope, he doesn't even know that Obi-Wan is still alive. So not through the Force. Let's say that during this time period, Vader and his Inquisitors, let's see the Inquisitors in this TV show. That'd be really good. Vader and his Inquisitors are hunting down Jedi throughout the galaxy. They're hunting down Jedi. And this one Jedi, he goes to find Obi-Wan Kenobi, because I don't think it's necessarily known as a fact that only Yoda knows where Obi-Wan is in Bail Organa. I don't think that's necessarily the case. But let's say this other Jedi that survived Order 66 is on the run. He finds out about Vader. And he tells Obi-Wan, he finds Obi-Wan and tells him that we need your help, because the Emperor and Vader are causing havoc throughout the galaxy. They're killing so many Jedi. We need you to come out of hiding and help us. And let's say that Obi-Wan says, I really can't risk, jeopardizing Luke's safety, because Luke, he knows, is the one that can help redeem his father. He has to protect Luke. That's his number one goal of being on Tatooine. And he tells this Jedi that he can't risk that. But eventually he gives in. And he goes off into the galaxy, and him and Vader face off toe to toe. And we're just talking about season 1 now. It's just season 1. So they face off toe to toe. And then we start to fill in some of the gaps between the original trilogy with Vader and Obi-Wan. So we get to see Obi-Wan tell Vader, or he'll probably just call him Anakin. Let's say that he doesn't even call him Vader, because Obi-Wan isn't completely convinced that Vader has taken over. He still has faith in Anakin. So when Vader says, Obi-Wan once thought as you did in Jedi, that kind of closes that gap. So he says, Anakin, come back. I can help you. Don't give in to your anger. I don't believe that the Emperor has driven Anakin away fully. You can come back. And one thing about Vader, let's see a different kind of Vader. Let's say that Anakin is still in there. He's not 100% on the dark side. And because he is not 100% on the dark side, that's his weakness. And when he faces Obi-Wan, the conflict inside of him causes him to lose that fight. In addition to his physical limitations. I think that would be an interesting storyline for season 1. You get to see Obi-Wan trying to convince Vader to turn back into Anakin, come back to the light. And you also get to see Obi-Wan fight Inquisitors. That would be really, really cool. Now, of course, they would need some other stuff. They would probably need this one main plot line. But this is some things that I think would make this show very, very interesting. So forget about, the SJW stuff. If Filoni's in charge of this, we're not going to see any of that stuff. The stuff that you're getting in the sequel trilogy, you won't see that whatsoever. But I think that Lucasfilm should take, for example, what Star Wars Theory did in his Vader fan film. You saw the conflict within Vader in that show, in that movie that he made. They can take a little piece of that and implement that into this TV show, and I think it could be epic. You can see Anakin / Vader, both of them combine into one, and eventually Anakin is just going to go away and Vader will take over ultimately. I think a lot of fans would enjoy seeing that. I know that I would. I want to see something like that, but I also want to see the internal struggle of Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's on Tatooine. He's watching over Luke, but I think that Obi-Wan wants to have some regret, because he even says in Revenge of the Sith that I have failed you, Anakin. I have failed you. And he's living with that regret. And maybe in Obi-Wan's mind, it's his fault that Anakin is on the dark side. It's his fault that Padme is dead. It's his fault that Luke and Leia are split from their parents. He starts to really, really blame himself, because Obi-Wan could have easily went on the same path that Anakin did. Because if you look at the Clone Wars, he was in love with Duchess Satine of Mandalore. And he didn't cross that line into a real relationship with her, even though they were madly in love with each other. But Anakin did. And the Emperor used that to his advantage. That could have very, very easily have been Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan in the TV show should be thinking that. His regret. Obi-Wan, he lost everything too. He's really no different than Anakin. Obi-Wan has suffered great loss. All the Jedi have pretty much been wiped out. Maybe he's blaming himself because of what Anakin did. Anakin and the Emperor. They destroyed the galaxy. But it was Obi-Wan's responsibility to train Anakin correctly. So, I really think that the conflict angle should be used in season 1 of the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show. And I have no doubt that Ewan McGregor, he's going to bring the goods. The man is a tremendous actor. No doubt about it whatsoever. So, what do you guys think of my storyline for season 1? Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But I'm just giving you kind of what's going on with my mind right now. And at the end of season 1 finale, that's when they fight. Vader loses. And maybe he thinks that Obi-Wan is actually dead because he loses, but maybe Obi-Wan falls or something like that. Maybe he thinks that Obi-Wan is dead, but Obi-Wan leaves Vader mortally wounded once again. And I think that's when you'll get the last time we met, I was but the learner, but now I'm the master, because A New Hope takes place about 19 to 20 years later. So, but that's what I think of this. And then for season 2, you can introduce the Darth Maul angle. Obi-Wan meeting Darth Maul after the Clone Wars, because they met during the Clone Wars, but they haven't met since then. That would be a perfect way to set up season 2 by having Darth Maul show up at the end of season 1 on the finale. That'll work for me. Will it work for you? But guys, that's just my thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on this? Obi-Wan season 1, a Star Wars story, whatever they're gonna call it, on Disney Plus. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. If you're new here to the channel, please hit subscribe to catch future videos from me, and we will catch you on the next video. John Matrixx, out.